Welcome to 30-Minute Reviews. I am Adam in a late night episode of the podcast because news broke today. News I'm not 100% thrilled about, but I don't get consulted on these things, and based on what I've heard about the inner workings of Warner Brothers lately, they're never going to consult me on these things because they're making Joker 2, because, look, it was a foregone conclusion, because Joker had a budget of, I want to say it was under $70 million, and it made $800 million, so, who are we kidding that they weren't going to make another Joker movie? It was going to happen. I just think that, based on what we know about the movie, which is very limited, besides the fact that Todd Phillips will be back to write and direct, and Joaquin Phoenix will be reprising his role as Arthur Fleck, a.k.a. the Joker. We know that the title page of the script, which is this pretentious red bullshit, has a subtitle which is in French, and if you'll excuse me for a moment as I dip into my zero training in speaking French to attempt to pronounce this folie à deux, which is 100% the wrong way to pronounce that, but I couldn't be bothered to look up the right way to pronounce it. Now, it shares a title with a Fall Out Boy album, which I can guarantee is not where this is going, but there is somewhere that this is going. Now, that phrase that I will not embarrass myself by having to pronounce for a second time with an over-the-top French accent, that title refers to when multiple members of the same family have the same mental disorder and have the same, mental, problems. So when we look at this movie, what could this be referring to? And, there was a split second when I saw this and I was like, I can do what every other website does. I can sit here and say, guys, I spoke to someone at Warner Brothers. I have an insider, and they told me this is what's happening. And it's like, well, I could have done that, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to share my prediction for it. Because I could also have been if it's wrong entirely, been oh, and the script changed a lot in production, because we're far enough out from pre-production start, or the movie in pre-production, where they could have changed the script, or changed the ending. But I have a prediction for how this movie's going to go down. I think it's a pretty solid prediction. And I think that it is pretty likely this is what happens in this movie, based on the title. I think what it's going to be is, if I remember Joker correctly, considering I've seen the movie twice, if I remember Joker correctly, it is unclear in the ending of the movie what went on when and how the ending actually meshes with reality, or if it was all just in Arthur Fleck's head. But the other thing that's in the movie that is throughout it is a mystery around whether or not Thomas Wayne is actually Arthur Fleck's father. And that's a question that is put throughout the entire movie. And it's is this, is this him? Is this what it is? And if that's his father, what does that mean? That means he is, Batman's half-brother. Bruce Wayne's half-brother. And at the end of the movie, I remember this distinctly, because I was like, this motherfucker made us sit through an entire origin movie for the Joker, and it ends with the Batman origin of Thomas and Martha Wayne getting gunned down in Crime Alley. Now, here's the thing. If Batman, Bruce Wayne, is truly the half-brother of Joker in this universe, then there's a way you can tell this story where the Joker gets out of Arkham Asylum, which is where I think they left him off, if I remember correctly, in the movie. He's left off in Arkham Asylum, and then he goes off and he meets with the young, orphaned, Bruce Wayne. And, they both lost their father. And they both lost their mothers. And this person is his brother. Thomas Wayne was also his father. So he can take and corrupt Bruce Wayne. And that is my prediction for what this movie is going to be. Keeping in mind that I have seen the exact same cover page everyone else has, that has that dumbass French pretentious bullshit on the cover. And also, look, he directed The Hangover. I don't exactly think that Todd Phillips is the most, original guy on the planet. Like, Joker is Taxi Driver plus King of Comedy. Like, and it's a weird mix, and it's a DC coat of paint on it, but it kind of works. And again, I will say this, if this movie doesn't have the DC label in front of it, and it was just, clown, it would not have made $800 million. And the evidence of that is Brightburn, which had some pedigree behind it, considering they threw James Gunn's name all over it, and he only helped finance the movie. Because his brother directed it or some bullshit like that. But I think that this is kind of what we need to look at here, is that this is what this movie's going to be. I'm not certain enough to bet money on it, but that would be my guess. Because we've already seen them do the Joker's origin. Now take the Batman's origin and put it through that prism, and you get that. And I think that that's what this movie could be. And it would be interesting. Or you do the two sides of the same coin thing years later, where Batman is now active in Gotham, and they're fighting, and it comes out, we the audience already know with the dramatic irony that he is, Batman's brother. He is Joker's brother, and then we do that. That's the other alternative. But either way, Batman's going to feature heavily in this movie. I can guarantee it. I think it's my first option, because that was the first thing that popped in my head, and I don't think anyone there is looking deeper than the first idea that pops into someone's head. So on that note, we will wrap up there for today, and we will be back with our next episode whenever more news comes out. So until then, have a great rest of your day.